this is not meant as a hook, but maybe it works as a hook. I don't know. Why am I in New York City? It's about the mindset. I decided to make this the hub of all the activities that I announced have started already. I said yesterday the kickoff has taken place and it's taking off. My new business, which name still has to be decided. So on LinkedIn I put the company that I'm founding as to be decided. Well, the name is not important at this stage. What is important at this stage? I said the first thing I'm going to do is I build a multinational team of partners to join me in setting up this business. What is the business about? I got hurt as an investor. We were strategic investors, which means that we invested our own fortune, our own money into several businesses, different asset classes. And other than passive investors, strategic investors try to secure their investment by getting involved. So the question is, when I invest in something other than, say, stocks in the market anonymously because of the amounts, the question is, well, what else other than money would help to secure the investment or to make the investment grow even better than if it was just the money in there with no other engagement. So the question is, what can I add to capital? And know-how is something, infrastructure is something, connections is something, maybe specific tools that I could bring. And so I'm setting up a team to build a small infrastructure as an investment company that can help to bridge in between investors that put money in and, say, for example, startup businesses that would benefit from, well, money, of course, for them to scale, but also in addition to that would benefit from specific know-how or specific connections or specific support. And well, what kind of team would help me? The very first priority I'm setting is I'm seeking to work as a partner with a probably quite young specialist in the field to understand the importance of AI implemented on both sides. What do I mean by both sides? Well, the one side is, of course, the business we are setting up, right? I had businesses developed before in my lifetime, and I have experienced different stages of technological development. The first business I set up was in the early 90s and there was no internet, right? I was online with that business because it was express delivery service and that I didn't deliver worldwide, but we were embedded within a system that did worldwide delivery. So the question was, well, how do you communicate? You know, if you send something that we picked up in our hometown in Osnabrück, say an urgent document or a tool, you know, on a special part or something, and we picked that up in Osnabrück in Western Germany, and it had to be in Taipei, Taiwan 3 days later. Well, the one way of communication was telephone. The other way was fax. Well, and of course there soon was some way of online communication, but there wasn't the internet. So I started at that level when I set up my first company. Well, then later on we had mobile phones. I had my first mobile phone in the mid-90s, you know, paid something like 6,000 marks in Germany, and it was something like a couple kilos, you know, that thing. And well, the next thing then was, at one stage there was the internet, right? Then there was the iPhone. A lot of you remember it's 18 years now, the iPhone. We are already at model number 16, and so that has been quite quick in development within the last 18 years. What change is possible? Any iPhone that I can use today is more powerful than any computer I had ever bought in my career. Probably more powerful than all the computers I had bought for my companies combined. Right? And what does that mean? Well, when I was busy managing the true crime situation, the crisis we had for our businesses, while I was busy with that, just before Christmas 2022, ChatGPT came out. You know, there was a free of charge tool for nearly anybody out there in the world to be able to use what AI can do. You know, it's a large language model, so it's a specific way, but it's something that people started to experiment with. Well, I was busy. I didn't have the time to really catch up on that, but in beginning of 23, I realized, well, it's important. I have to keep an eye on that. And well, we are at the beginning of 25, so that's 2 years later. And in the cycles we have at the moment in technological development and the time spans for those things, 2 years is long, right? In my lifetime, I'm 55 now, I mentioned that before. I've been self-employed, an entrepreneur for, say, 37 years or something like that. 2 years is not long. Yes, but technologically in those cycles, that is quite a time. And in AI development, that is quite a long time. So if I plan, and I do plan, to set up a business that's going to be there for decades, right? I'm at an age where if I set up something that I'm going to be busy with the next couple of years, I still, as an investor, think in decades. So the minimum is a 10-year frame. And well, I'd be mid-60 by the end of those 10 years. The question is, where will we be technologically in 10 years? Well, I finally get my robot dog that I want. You know, it might not be Spot, but it'll be something like that. You know, unarmed, as I always used to say. And I might walk around in Germany with a robot dog. Yeah, I anticipated that years ago. I told my staff I'm going to have one of those robot dogs. And we might not have a phone anymore in a few years. And many other things. There are many tools we are used to today that are obviously, you know, necessary today, might be useless in a couple of years. So when I'm setting up a new business in 2025 today, I have to question myself, what would have the highest leverage technology-wise, what would have the highest leverage on setting up this new business? And my decision is to be able to develop an AI competence within the company. Okay, so my first and most important team member to start it would be someone who is keen on that. And he doesn't have to be a professional. He doesn't have to be a software programmer or something. But prompting needs to be not a developed skill, but that needs to be there needs to be an awareness for that. But what's more important is that there's in general an awareness. How could we use AI in building a business, in setting up an infrastructure that would do what I think we could do as strategic investors? And if I achieve that, if I find someone with that skill and that understanding and maybe the same vision that can really revolutionize, is that the word? Yes, that can really massively change industries, businesses, the way teams work, the ways companies are set up. Well, then there is a second side to it, and the second side to it is that the investments, the companies we invest in, the startups we invest in, the private equity that we will place, in the next gen family companies that are handed over, we could really, in addition to the capital that we invest, bring know-how in that field and use that as leverage for the investment. So there's two sides with the AI thing, and the one side is obviously to be effective as a newly set up investment company. And the other thing is to be effective as a strategic investor, bringing that know-how as an asset. What is that? Here we go. Central Park, New York. Starting from the west side, Central Park West, going down southeast, and see how far we can go. It's nice. It's very cold, but it's nice. The park is my friend through good times and bad. My favorite place on the planet. Central Park Conservancy. Well, that's quite American, isn't it? So, I explained that the AI team member is the key person at the very beginning. Because with his or her help, I would then build the rest of the team. And I would then build the infrastructure for the company and taking in consideration, well, how could that be done 2025 more effectively than ever before, and how can AI that is available at very low costs or at no cost at the moment be used to make it more efficient and to be smart about it and to change the way investment companies are set up. And if that works out, we will already have an advantage among competition, and I will have a strong argument why am I the right partner for those co-investors that have the capital that I lack at the moment. And for those co-investors, they say, well, we would even invest more capital if you have a strong argument why the capital is secured in a better way than the normal ways. And where is the advantage compared to others? I hope that makes sense, what I'm explaining here. And the other thing is, well, the further setting up of the team comes after that. And I'm going to have this AI partner already partner in building the further team. And what do I mean by partnership? Well, of course, I'm seeking co-investors, partners with capital and maybe influence that are bigger than I am, and they are stronger, maybe, and but only in that aspect. When I'm seeking partners to work with me in the team, I don't seek for them to bring capital into the company. But I'm prepared to offer shares in the business that we set up in exchange for workforce, in exchange for the know-how and the engagement. I'm seeking entrepreneurial partners, co-entrepreneurs, if you wish. And I'm the old guy, even though this is a startup and I'm bringing my experience. I seek for others to have the same startup energy, but they don't necessarily have to have my experience in setting up companies and in the business field. They can have other experience, or they could be at the very beginning. What I'm strongly seeking is a comparable attitude on the entrepreneurial side. I have worked in the entrepreneurship community in universities. I have worked with Centers for Entrepreneurship. I have done startup weeks, startup weekends, all kinds of events in several places in Europe. And at the beginning of the this century, I was in South Korea, and that had to do around a startup environment. Back then, e-commerce was at its beginning compared to what people know about Amazon today. 25 years ago, that was a startup situation that was totally new, and there were people there that were very young and very fresh in the information about what's going on. And then there were people like Bezos. He used to be an investment banker, and he just recognized that this internet thing, if that really works, that's going to be so powerful that I definitely have to be involved as a businessman. So there was his motive to set up an e-commerce business. And he started with books. And a lot of people didn't understand it. And today they admire the result. But the results didn't happen by coincidence. He decided, I'm going to make this happen. And he found people that understood the idea, understood the vision, and had comparable energy about this startup attitude and about this entrepreneurial attitude. So you don't build companies that size, and I'm not aiming for that size. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware of my environment. But what I'm aiming for is for that kind of mentality that the limitation is in what we believe what is limiting, right? If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. Remember that quote? I still have that plastic card. And I learned later it's a Walt Disney quote. And there's this famous story always used by all kinds of seminar speakers that Walt Disney, he went to, 325 banks, and they said no to his idea to build an amusement park. Well, if he would have quit, so the limitation wasn't that there is no money. The limitation wasn't that there are no banks. No, the limitation was in the imagination of those people that he talked to, 324 of them. It didn't have that imagination that this could be, what is it today? The largest entertainment industry company in the world, at least one of the most admired companies in the world. And that came out of the imagination of one person, Walt Disney. And so those are strong metaphors, and that might sound a bit pathetic, very big, but that's what you have to aim for. When building a team, it is said, well, don't explain to people what to do. Show them where you are heading. Show them what's the vision, what's your goal, where are you going? Is this a moonshot project? And in the startup community, moonshot project is a term specifically used for some type of businesses. But the thing is, do the unimaginable. And I'm seeking to find partners that have that mindset. I think I need partners that have that mindset. And you don't employ those people, so I'm not here to build a team of employees waiting for me to instruct them what to do. I'm seeking partners that come up with their own ideas, how do we set this up, that come up with their own energy, why they want to set it up, that have their own strong motive, why they want to build a powerful business in order to change something out there in the world, to have an impact, to use their own knowledge, their skills, their energy to make a difference, and to build something that has leverage for them in order to make that difference. And if you are one of those people, reach out to me. If you are listening to this, watching what I'm doing here, walking through Central Park in New York City and talking about a company that's not there yet. It's not there yet? Yes, it's there. It's in my mind. I can see a powerful new investment company led by me, set up together with a team of 6 partners. I'm one of them, so it's 5 other people, maybe you. And I can see that we can make a difference in the way investments are made, in the way strategic investments are made, in the way investors get involved in their investments. And as I said, and that is my specific point, I can see that we build a powerful company that builds a bridge between the Anglo-American side of how investments are seen and done, and the German side, how with the tradition of family entrepreneurs, which means that there are companies and the entrepreneurs, the owners of these companies, they think in generations. That's so long term, that's beyond Warren Buffett's lifetime. And for North America, an attitude like Warren Buffett's attitude as a long-term attitude, that is already unique and in the end very successful. But the town I come from, the local chamber of commerce, when I was a young man, they had a company that was 375 years old. And they handed out a document honoring that the company was 375 years old. And so that is an advantage. And I think that we can build a bridge. And so we can build something unique. And if you understand that, and you have the motivation to be part of it, and you see yourself as an asset that could be added so it'd be more powerful with you than without you, reach out to me, contact me in any way, wherever you are. I said it's going to be remote, it's going to be mobile only. That doesn't mean that we don't do a hybrid solution. Yeah, I can meet you face to face, but we can do a Zoom call, we can contact in whatever way this is done today. I'm in New York City and I'm in Germany, I'm in Austria, but I can come anywhere if necessary. Of course, the finances have to be sorted, but I'm working on that. You could come, but maybe it's not necessary at the very beginning. So wherever you are, I had a contact this morning from India. Wherever you are, reach out to me and get in touch and we talk about it. I'm serious about it. I can see it. It's happening now. It's taken off already. And this is the key position at the very beginning. This is the key position. Central Park, New York, just after sunset. Isn't that nice? It's inspiring, isn't it? This is the kind of energy I like.